I'm with Dan Smith, consultant paramedic at Central Manchester Ambulance Station. Dan, what are you expecting to deal with on Friday night tonight?
Yeah, obviously tonight we will see an increase in alcohol-related incidents and drug-related incidents, both within the city centre and within the towns and small villages all around Manchester, really.
Right.
We do see an increase in 999 calls related to alcohol and drugs on Friday and Saturday evenings, but actually this is a problem now that's right the way through the week, 24 hours a day, be that connected to the 24-hour drinking licences, which means bars are open longer and later, but also, unfortunately, alcohol has taken a hold of a large number of people, so Tuesday afternoon we can always see alcohol-related incidents at any time of day or night, really.
Right, and what's the average Friday night like? I guess it gets busier at kicking out times, the 11 o'clock or the 2-3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what we've found, obviously, is with the change in the licensing laws, what we don't have is a big peak at 11:30 and another big peak at 2 o'clock, and then it fizzles out. What we have is a peak that starts around 11:30 but then continues right the way through the night till 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, especially in the big city centres. That's obviously a challenge to us because it means that we're busier right the way through the night. But on an average night we will see, a large number of incidents, and that might not just be the obvious ones. So obviously there's, pictures in the press of people that are maybe very drunk, so they've fallen over, but alcohol is related to an awful lot of incidents, so assaults, robbery. People are vulnerable, they're walking home alone, they're drunk, they're an easy target for crime, and so not just the usual sort of falling over and hurting themselves. Ladies will take their shoes off, so we get a lot of cut feet. People will not dress for the occasion, so they're getting hypothermic on their way home, they become confused, and then they end up being very vulnerable in the city centres or in the town. So we will see that type of incident right the way through the night.
We hear a lot of examples where police and paramedics can be attacked by people who perhaps have drunk too much on a night out. Is that something that you're constantly in the back of your mind whenever you have to go to a scene? Is that something you're thinking about? Do you have any experience of that yourself?
Yeah, countless experiences of where patients have become aggressive or abusive towards us, and not just the patients sometimes. Obviously it can also be bystanders in the street. They may have felt they've waited too long for an ambulance to arrive, so when we get there the scene is incredibly aggressive. And alcohol, we know, everybody knows that alcohol can make someone that usually isn't aggressive become aggressive. Their behaviour changes when they've had too much to drink. So myself and all my colleagues will be tonight making sure that they risk assess the scene, making sure that what they're going into is safe, but we can't always guard against it. Some people are incredibly unpredictable when they've had alcohol, and undoubtedly we will have a crew, if not physically assaulted, we will certainly have a number of crews tonight that are verbally abused by the people they've gone out to see.
Really? So you actually expect that every night you go
absolutely.
out?
It would be unusual for us to not have an incident of some sort during a weekend night.
Really? Have you seen that change at all? Have you seen the type of violence or the level of violence change over time?
I think our reporting's got better. I think we encourage all our staff to make sure that they report any incident of abuse towards them. Certainly in my career, I've experienced incidents right from the word go, really. I'd say that alcohol as a culture in this country is changing, and as a result of that we are seeing an increase in alcohol-related incidents, and with that will come an increase in violence and abuse towards ambulance staff.